Former residents of an embattled youth behavioral treatment center want better protections for all children in congregate care. They also want the state of Ohio to cut all ties of Sequel Youth and Family Services. That's a parent company of Sequel Pomegranate, which closed this fall, 2 years after 10 investigates first exposed incidents of violence and abuse. As chief investigative reporter Bennett Haverly explains, similar problems have led to more closures at other Sequel facilities across the country.
New Mexico state inspection found the injuries this child received happened when a staff member struck him with a tree branch. The behavioral youth treatment facility named in the report is owned and operated by Sequel Youth and Family Services and recently announced its closure in wake of allegations of abuse and neglect. It is one of several Sequel-owned facilities across the country that has closed in recent years amid allegations of abuse and other problems.
There are a number of just horrific problems that our monitors detected.
Earlier this month, we spoke to Carissa Tashiro with Disability Rights New Mexico. The nonprofit conducted its own investigation into Sequel's Bernalillo Academy.
And then there's just a rampant culture of peer-on-peer violence.
Here in Columbus, Sequel Pomegranate, which briefly reopened and rebranded itself as Torrey earlier this year, announced it would close in October. Our reporting uncovered a repeated pattern of allegations of violence and abuse here.
Assaulted our staff members.
With staff being injured by children, and children complaining of staff hurting them through painful restraint holds.
They put you in a hold. They put your hands behind your back until almost buckles.
They said that's the only way they can get their kids to calm down. They restrain them.
This reporting has been pivotal to I guess, back up what we've said all along.
Addison Torrance is a former resident at Sequel Pomegranate who is among a group of past residents now trying to persuade the state to sever all ties with Sequel and not allow the company to resume operating here.
The state is very receptive. I think they're wanting to work with us to prevent things like this from happening again. What happened at Pomegranate was horrendous. And at this point, nobody seriously disputes that.
I called the co-founder of Sequel again today, hoping to ask him about future plans for the company and his effort to rebrand Sequel under another name, but I haven't heard back.
I think that reporting has had a pretty significant impact.
This former resident asked that her identity be withheld, but says she too would like to see the state adopt additional safeguards for children so that history doesn't repeat itself. In Columbus, Bennett Haverly, 10 Investigates.
A spokesman for the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services says while his department cannot make any obligations related to what Sequel may do in the future, it can commit to a thorough review, assessment, and discussion of changes that the state should consider to further ensure patient safety.